Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Zach Pasquarello, and I am here today again for my weekly update. Every Monday, I try to show you guys my box truck business, how I'm doing, what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning, the mistakes I'm making. That way, I hope you all can learn something and we can help grow our box truck business together. So if you guys have been following along, I normally show my QuickBooks account for my box truck business, and I am a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor. I own Harrisburg Bookkeeping, and during the day, my main business is bookkeeping, but about 6 months ago, I decided to invest in a box truck business, and so I share the box truck business from the bookkeeping and accounting perspective, just to give you all a little bit of insight and see kind of behind the scenes what it actually looks like from a profit and loss standpoint. So it's the beginning of a new month. It's October 4th, and so now that September is over, I'm just going to give a big recap, a broad overview of the entire month of September. If you guys like these videos, I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Give it a like, give it a share, and follow along every Monday for weekly updates on my box truck business. So, a little quick backstory. I got an 18-foot box truck back in July, and then I recently got a 26-foot truck at the end of August. And so, September this month was really my first time kind of running the 26-foot truck almost full time. I don't think I did it 4 straight weeks, but I've been primarily running my 26-foot truck. And if you guys are watching, if you guys are thinking about getting into the box truck business, I strongly discourage anybody getting a truck smaller than 24 feet. I made a huge mistake. I got a box truck that was 18 feet back in July, and it's just been nothing but headaches. So I do have some good news to share that I finally found someone to buy the 18-foot box truck. So I'm no longer going to be running that 18-foot box truck. I'm only going to be running my 126-foot truck. I got a great driver for the 26-foot truck. And in the next couple of weeks, I might be looking to get another 26-foot truck because based on the past 2 weeks, 26-foot truck has been crushing it in terms of revenue and just its ability to find good, reliable loads. My dispatcher's doing great. My driver's doing great. The truck is staying healthy. Fingers crossed, everyone's staying safe and compliant. So the 26-foot truck is doing great, but the 18-foot truck has been nothing but just a pain in the butt. It's really not running very well. It's impossible to find over the road good, consistent, reliable loads for the 18-foot truck. And I found a local contract, but even the local contract, we couldn't fit as much in the 18-foot truck, and the local contract was only paying like anywhere from $200 to $300 a day. And after I paid my driver and after I paid my fuel, I wasn't even breaking even. And then on top of that, obviously we have to pay for insurance and maintenance and just general overhead expenses. So the 18-foot truck it just never made any money. So that's part of the reason why I lost so much money in September, and I will share with you kind of the current cash flow crisis that we are having here at Route 20 Trucking Company. So we'll jump right into it. I will open up here my QuickBooks account. Let's see here. Here is my QuickBooks account. I use QuickBooks Online. So like I said, I am a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor. I do bookkeeping for over 20 small businesses. And if you guys need help with your bookkeeping, please feel free to check out my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com. You can give me a call, send me an email, reach out anyway if you need help with your bookkeeping or your taxes or just any general questions. If you need help with anything, feel free to work out or reach out. I'd love to work with you. Okay, so here's my profit and loss statement for September. You can see here my sales. So this is the cash flow crisis we are currently in. So the sales here, $8,000 of revenue income for the month of September, and that is about $6,000 short of the money that we actually earned in September. So I do my accounting based on cash basis. So that means I only count my revenue whenever I actually receive the money in my checking account. So if you guys are familiar with the trucking industry, you know that most brokers pay in 30 days, some pay in 60 days. That's why I have a factoring company, but we booked 3 loads in September that did not have enough credit to be factored. So in those 3 loads alone, come out to be about $6,000 back in September. So right now I'm waiting on $6,000 of money that my drivers have earned, and I'm just waiting on the brokers to pay my factoring company because they didn't have enough credit with Taft's. So Taft's was not able to quick pay me. So they're basically waiting until the broker pays them, and then Taft's is going to pay me. So side note, if you guys are looking for a factoring company, keep in mind, once you sign up with that factoring company, they own 100% of your receivables. What that means, even if you wanted to do quick pay, even if you wanted to just get paid directly by the broker, you're not allowed to, because the factoring company owns 100% of your receivables. And just be really careful before you sign up with a factoring company. I've had nothing but problems with Taft's. I've heard there's a lot of other good factoring companies out there. I don't know. I've never worked with a different factoring company, but once my 1 year contract is up with Taft's, I will definitely be shopping around to find a new factoring company because I just see a lot of hidden fees. And I talk about it in my last video. I'm not going to touch on it anymore. I've talked about them enough, but just make sure you do your research before you sign up with a factoring company. Check out all the hidden fees and just understand the concept of them owning 100% of your receivables and what that might mean for you and your trucking company, because cash flow is a serious thing. I have to pay fuel. I have to pay my drivers. I have to pay my dispatchers, insurance. I have to pay the my loan for my truck. As a box truck business owner, you're going to have so many expenses, and you need cash to pay for those expenses. And if the broker is paying you in 30 days, I mean, you're going to pay your driver, or you're going to pay your mortgage or your rent or buy your groceries in less than 30 days. So just keep that in mind before you start this box truck business. I'd recommend having at least $10,000 of cash before you start the business, just as a nice little buffer, to pay for all the startup costs. And then after that, just make sure you're really smart and do your planning intentionally with your cash. That way you can pay your bills. All right, so here we have my dispatch fees. I pay my dispatcher about 10%, and I pay him every Friday. So September, another thing that kind of hit me hard the month of September is that there's 5 Fridays in this month of September, and I pay my dispatcher and I pay my drivers every Friday. So you can see here, all 5 Fridays I got hit with a bill. So I paid my dispatcher a little bit over $1,000 in the month of September. My drivers, I had one driver for the entire month of September, and then, like I said in my last video, I had a local driver doing local deliveries, and I paid him 1 week in September. So I think a total of like 6 paychecks went out to my drivers for the month of September. And then this is a pretty big expense that I'm currently looking into. I would love to get a sleeper cab for my box truck, because right now, I mean, last month I paid $1,500 just in hotels. So that'll really add up quickly. That'll be a little bit more than $15,000 a year. So I'm thinking about potentially investing in a sleeper cab. That way I could save on hotel fees. But I reimburse my driver $75 every night that they're over the road to help pay for a hotel. My fuel expense, I mean, that's just, there's nothing you can do about fuel. You're going to have to buy diesel. I use Fuel Man. They've been great. Highly recommend Fuel Man if you're looking for a good fuel card. So after I paid my drivers, my dispatchers, and for my fuel, I'm right around negative $2,000 gross profit. And keep in mind, like I said, I'm missing out on $6,000 worth of accounts receivables from brokers. So that really should be closer to $4,000 profit once I get paid for all those invoices from those brokers. So just keep that in mind. This factoring fee, $378 to my factoring company. I got hit with a couple, like what they call security interest fee, and I talk about in all my other videos. I won't talk about it anymore, but I have no idea what that even means. I tried calling them. They tried to explain it to me. I guess it's just costs the factoring company incurs whenever they do whatever factoring companies do. Honestly, I don't know, but I paid over $300 to my factoring company. That's right around 3% of my the invoices that I factored with them. So that's how much I'm paying, 3%. Hopefully I can cut that down after I've been in business for 1 year. I'd love to get closer to 2% on my factoring fees. Registration. So this is kind of a unique expense that will only happen once a year. Every time you have a truck. $658 because I got that new 26-foot truck. and that was just to get tags and registrations, tags and registration for the 26-foot truck. Now maintenance, I got refunded by Penske. I talked about that in my first week of September, which was awesome. Penske, really great customer service at Penske. They sold me a truck, and I had to put about $1,000 of maintenance into it in order for it to pass DOT inspection, and they reimbursed me for that. Got an oil change, $300, and then this was so I budgeted about $1,000 a month for maintenance per truck. So I ended up spending $2,000 on my 26-foot truck because I thought the ERG cooler went bad, so I took it to a dealership and they charged me an incredible amount of money just to change the belt and a couple bolts. So I ended up spending $2,000 in maintenance. I had to get the truck towed. So find yourself a good mobile mechanic, maybe roadside assistance, because it costs $450 just to get the truck towed. And then I spent almost $300 on tolls. I account for about like 5% of total miles driven on tolls. I have no idea if that's accurate. It's too soon to tell, but whenever I do my cost per mile, I factor in 10% of miles driven for maintenance. So I assume that I drive 500 miles every day. So I allocate $50 per truck per day for maintenance, and um, half of a percent, no, 5% of the miles for tolls. So if I drive 500 miles, I assume every day I'll spend $25 in tolls. Once again, no idea if that's accurate. That's just kind of what I've seen from doing my research. So total expenses, $4,000. Total cost of goods sold was $10,000. So right there, I'm spending about $14,000 on expenses and cost of goods sold. So the $4,000, that's repairs and maintenance, registration fees, factoring fees, job supplies. Let's see, did I get any office supplies and software? Spent $287 on Clockify for my drivers to clock in and out. I think I might try to cancel that subscription and see if I can't get some money back for that, because I'm no longer doing the the local deliveries. I just use Keep Trucking for their ELD, and that's how my driver logs all of his hour logs and does his daily vehicle inspection. Job supplies. I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I think I got like a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit. And I see a lot of people putting decals on their truck, but I just got a $75 magnet for my company, my DOT, and my MC number on the side of each door. $75. I think that's pretty cheap. I just got two really large magnets and they fit on either door. I only spent $30 per magnet. So if you're spending like hundreds of dollars to get your trucks decaled and get some crazy fancy logo, I mean, if you want to do that, you can, but maybe just find a local company who can make you a quick magnet, pay $35 per magnet, and throw it up on your door. Um, let's see, I already talked about maintenance, tolls, and then the last thing here, depreciation. So every month, at the end of the month, I have depreciation coming out on my profit and loss. My trucks, typically commercial vehicles, are depreciated over 5 years or 60 months. So just let's say you buy a truck for $30,000, just divide that 30,000 divided by 60, and then every single month you want to take out that amount of money for depreciation. So that is an expense at the end of every month that comes out, and that's just I talk about it in all my videos, I think, but depreciation is super important. I recommend do a little bit of research and see what it says about depreciation. But if you get a loan, every time you pay off your loan, that's not a direct expense because you purchased a long-term asset, fixed asset, so that asset needs to be depreciated. So you can't just buy a truck this year and then expense it all unless you use Section 179, which is a whole different section of the tax code. Talk to your CPA, talk to your accountant, maybe talk to your bookkeeper about Section 179 and depreciation, and he or she will be able to help you out. Yeah, so once I get rid of this 18-foot truck, I'm selling it tomorrow. So October should be my first decent month. As long as I can get these account receivables collected and as long as I can keep my 26-foot truck, I think I will finally have at the end of this month a positive month to show you all. But so negative $7,428 for this month. With that being said, I've got a little bit over $6,000 of money that I've earned, but I just haven't collected on yet. So it would be right around a loss of $1,000, and that's with these two trucks, two drivers, two trucks. But like I said, the 18-foot truck was only running for 2 weeks of the month. So once I get rid of that 18-foot truck and once I get my factoring situation under control, I should finally be in the positive. So that's an inside look to a trucking company. Let's see, I ran my first load, I think July 30th, so August, September. So this is my second month of actually running loads. So second month into it. If you are an owner operator, so I'm just an owner, so I don't operate the vehicles. I'm just an owner. But if you're an owner operator, then you could expect to be making this $8,836, and then just subtract that from this negative 7,000. So if you're an owner operator and you have these two trucks, you'd be making a profit, but the profit margin would be slim. But all of that is slightly skewed because of the 18-foot truck and just the difficulty that I've had trying to keep that 18-foot truck running. So for the past 2 months, I've had nothing but slightly bad news to report with my trucking business and my QuickBooks, but I'm very confident that the month of October will finally be a positive month. I've learned a lot. I've made some mistakes, and I finally found a good truck. I got a great driver. I got a good dispatcher. I got a good fuel card. I got a great mobile mechanic. And so everything is kind of falling in place. And I'm very confident that my team will be able to have a good, solid, safe, productive month in October. So tune in next Monday for October week 1 update. And I will see you guys all in the next video.